Good morning and welcome to Crimes with Cole. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? How are you? Good? You're good? I'm good too. Alright, so today I want to talk to you about this story, and it's just wild to me. I want to talk to you about a mother of two who is accusing her 2-year-old son of murdering her 1-year-old daughter. But is a toddler even capable of doing that? We're about to find out. Kristen Depasqule was a mother of two. She was a mother to Mikey, who was 2 years old, and a mother to baby Mia, who was a year old. Mikey and Mia were 15 months apart, and their father is Mike, and the family lives in Oviedo, Florida. At the time of this horrific crime, Mike was in prison. Kristen had came home with her 2 babies and had wanted to jump in the shower. So she sat the little ones in front of the TV in the living room so she could jump into the shower for 5 minutes. She just needed 5 minutes, jump in, wash her hair, clean her body, just 5 minutes to get a shower. When she had gotten out of the shower, little Mikey was running up to her saying, "Sorry, Mommy, sorry I had hurt Sissy, Mommy." And Kristen had rushed to the living room where she had left her 2 babies to watch TV, and what she saw was her daughter, Mia, entangled in Halloween lights. They were wrapped around her neck, and she was laying there unresponsive. She rang 911, begging and pleading that they hurry, that her baby girl was unresponsive, and she was doing all that she could, that her 2-year-old son had wrapped Halloween lights around baby Mia's neck, and she wasn't responding. Police arrived that night at 10:30 on November 10th. Kristen had told the police that she had just jumped in the shower for 5 minutes, that Mikey and Mia must have been playing, and that he had wrapped the Halloween lights around her neck, strangling her. That when she got out, he was begging and pleading that he didn't mean to hurt his baby sister. But the police questioned Kristen because Kristen still had a full face of makeup on. She still had all of her jewelry, and the shower floor was dry. They also noticed that the Halloween lights were wrapped around a potted plant that was sitting on the mantle. And that had this little boy really have gone over and yanked down those lights, it would have pulled down the potted plant, breaking the pot. But the plant was still in place. So was Kristen telling the truth? As Kristen was in the emergency room, waiting for the verdict on her daughter, as they were doing all they could, the police kept questioning her. They kept wanting to know what exactly had happened, and Kristen had told them she had gotten in the shower. Kristen's father was with her at the hospital during this tragic time. Kristen's father was a sheriff in that county, and he was getting extremely agitated that these police officers kept pushing and poking and prying Kristen during a time like this. Her daughter is back there, and they are doing everything they can to try and get this baby girl to come back. And these police want to question her? Kristen's father had told them, "Leave my daughter alone. Quit questioning her. She is busy dealing with this matter. She doesn't need to be questioned right now. She is in a state of vulnerability. She is a wreck. She's an emotional wreck right now. Her baby girl is dying, and she still has a 2-year-old son to tend to. Quit questioning her. The police officers ended up having to remove Kristen's father from the hospital. By that time, Kristen had told the officers that she wanted a lawyer. She didn't want to deal with their questions. Because of all the inconsistencies in Kristen's story, she was arrested on first-degree murder charges against her daughter, Mia, on November 14th. The medical examiner said, based upon her findings, that this was no accident, that no 2-year-old could use that much force for 4 minutes. And officers would say off record that Kristen indeed strangled her daughter, that she had staged it to look like an accident, like little Mikey had wrapped those Halloween lights around baby Mia's neck while they were playing, while Kristen was in the shower. But they said that something just didn't feel right, that she was lying. There's no way she was in the shower. Kristen's attorney had fought against what the district attorney said and said that no one who knew Kristen said she was a bad mom. Everyone agreed that Kristen loved those babies. A second medical examiner came in to review the findings of what the first medical examiner had found. The second medical examiner said that this could have absolutely been an accident, that baby, both of them, could have been playing in the Halloween lights, wrapping them around their neck like necklaces, and that it got caught up on something and it had strangled her. Once the second medical examiner had came out and said this, the first medical examiner had revoked what she originally said and agreed that this could have been an accident. Kristen had admitted to lying to the police, that she indeed was not in the shower, that she had actually dozed off. And I don't blame her. She has 2 small children, 15 months apart. Their father's in prison. She's doing it all on her own. She's probably working her 40 hours plus some to pay the bills to get by. They may not be great sleepers at night. She may be up throughout the night. She was probably exhausted, and we've all been there. We have all had a time in our life where we just sit down and doze off because we've reached exhaustion. And that may have been the case for Kristen. She may have truly reached exhaustion and just dozed off for 5 minutes. But it only took 4 for baby Mia to quit breathing. Kristen ended up pleading to no contest to aggravated child abuse with great bodily harm. She had to pay $3,000 in court cost. She has to abide by the DCF rules and regulations along with any court orders, and is on probation for 10 years. Little Mikey was with his grandparents during this time. Kristen had ended up spending 18 months in jail during this entire matter. And if any of the rules or regulations are violated by Kristen, she could spend up to 30 years in prison. My thoughts on this entire case is that had she have been in the shower, had she have never admitted to lying, why didn't she just put those babies in their cribs? But since she did admit to lying to the police, it does make sense where she was exhausted. She probably did sit down and just doze off. It's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to many of you. I'm sure many of you know what it's like to have small children and you're just tired. Do I think that the son did it? No. I don't think that that little boy had any intention on wrapping lights around his sister's neck. for her to quickly jump to put blame on him, I don't know how I feel about that. I do know how I feel. I don't agree with that at all. I would never just throw one of my kids under the bus. If I saw another one unresponsive, I'd be like, ah. I would never just be like, oh, he did it. You know, thinking, oh, well, he's 2. They're not going to do anything. That part rubs me the wrong way about this case. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with her doing that. But what do you think? Do you think the babies were playing with the Halloween lights? That she just wrapped them around her neck as a necklace and, you know, thinking she's the bee's knees and ended up strangling herself? Or do you think maybe she really did strangle her baby with those lights and then just hung them up on the mantle, wrapped them around the potted plant to make it look like they were just hanging there? They were dangling down and Mia had gotten into them. Oh, you'll have to let me know what you think. Until next time, please remember to be safe, and I will see you then. Bye.